Boom. Just like that. Just like that. It's like, oh my God, it's happened so easily. How is everybody doing on this glorious Saturday? We hope you're having fun. If you're not, why the heck not? Today is Sue's birthday. She turns 50 today.
Sue, happy birthday.
Everyone, happy birthday, Sue. What's up, Marty?
Marty Day.
Let's get the party started.
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Marty Dean?
Yes, look at you.
I know. See?
Jeez, you show Fernando how to do something on his laptop, and now he's like...
I'm just ready, man.
He's just ready to go. Quick side note. Hey, Bill. What's happening? Quick side note. Today's show, we had talked about we were going to...
What's up, Bobby?
Talk about the new Focal shell mount subwoofers.
Yes.
And hope you had a good time today, Bobby, by the way. These guys right here, we were going to talk about those. We were going to talk about the new deep subwoofers. And as it turns out, we really don't need to start talking about them until next month.
Okay.
So we were getting a little ahead of ourselves on that. So we're gonna pump the brakes, as it were.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in not waiting for us to talk about them, head over to focalamerica.com, where you can check out the new shell mounts, the new regular subwoofers.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there for you to be had. Of course, they're still a sponsor of the show this month. However, we just don't need to get to them quite yet. We need to slow it down. Awesome time with the girls today. That was a good surprise. So they totally surprised Sue with a lunch and a massage. So they all went and did that.
Limo?
In the Nissan limo.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
All right. So before we go, I got this one. I have to get this one before we start.
Question: when level matching, how do you go about doing so? Frank, that was a wonderful question. I saw that earlier when we were waiting to go live, and I put the little starry next to it because I wanted to make sure we got back to that one. It's actually kind of simple. You do need a few things, though, in order to do it. First off, you're going to need a digital multimeter. You're going to set it to AC. Secondly, you're going to need something that can generate a tone generator app on your phone, a CD that has a tone, a thumb drive that has a tone, something that has a test tone. Now, you want to make sure that the test tone falls into the area in which you have the amplifier crossed over. So, for example, you don't want to play 1,000 hertz test tone on a sub amp. It doesn't make sense. So a 40, 50, as true for a mid-range, as true for a tweeter. So depending on what amplifier you have to level match. Second, before you start, disconnect the speakers from the amplifier, because anytime you're playing a test tone, there again, you don't have to play it really loud, but anytime you're playing a test tone, especially like doing some kind of gain adjustments or something like that, just go ahead and disconnect the speakers. It's the safest way to do it. Next, you're going to turn the gains both all the way down. Okay, turn the gains all the way down. Now, what you want to do at this point is whatever you're going to use to test for distortion. So if the amplifier has a distortion light, if you're using an oscilloscope, if you're just using math, in which case this whole process is a moot point, or whatever you're using to that, do both amplifiers. Okay, so find out where your max level is you're going to be playing it. Now what you want to do is use that whatever tone you decided to pick, and you could use the same one you used to level match. Put your voltmeter on there, AC, positive, negative, and see what the voltage is on A amp and B amp. All right. Whichever one is lower is going to be the maximum that you're going to set the other amplifier to. So in this case, you don't want to go up, you want to go down. So let's say you measure one amp and it's 24 volts, you measure the other amp, it's 25 volts. You're going to take the 25 volt amp and you're going to turn the gain down until it says 24 volts. Now the amplifiers are level matched. There again, you don't have to do this with a lot of volume, okay? So once you know what max clip is on the amplifier, you can turn the radio back down to a normal listening level. You don't have to go full tilt boogie on this, as our friends Kip used to say. You can, like 12 volts, 13 volts. And there again, don't freak out if it's like 0.2 difference. It's not going to matter. You'd be surprised. Like, you guys have all seen this dyno 4-channel amplifiers, and like there could be 20, 30 watts difference between left and right channel. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just gonna be close.
Yeah.
But that's how you do it. Team Morel in the house.
Hey, I just want to say, buddy, thank you so much for the present.
Yes,
we love
came
it.
in today.
Yes, thank
It's
you,
crazy.
buddy. As always. I had this one.
Happy Saturday. What's up, Mr. Digos?
Mr. Digos. And now we talk about Mr. Digos. Look at the next one.
What's a good speaker to put in a Mercedes CL45? Well, I mean, Helix.
Helix.
Sorry. I don't know.
That will be Match.
Yeah, the Match line.
The Match line.
line.
Go check match.com.
And so does, but that's it. Yeah, so does, there again. Match is a great option.
Mm-hmm.
Blam also, I believe, makes them. Focal also makes them. And in the Mercedes, I think Ground Zero even makes them.
Ground Zero
So
makes that. Yeah.
there's a variety
you can find
to choose
yes.
from. Yay!
All right. So
My speaker channel 3.4 keeps switching sides every time I turn on my DS. Whoa.
that doesn't make no.
That's pretty strange. Naturally, the first question I would ask is, are you sure you're running the most recent software in both the Tune software and the DSP software? There again, you might be, but that's going to be the first question tech support is going to ask you. Are you running the most current version of the software? Other than that, that doesn't make any sense.
Now, the other thing is, like, if you save it in your laptop, maybe
Okay, so
uninstall it and install it back in.
No. Well, there again, you brought up an interesting question of save,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people get confused when it comes to saving on with that. You have to go to what preset it is, and you have to
Press and hold.
press and hold, but like press and hold, right click, press and hold. So it should say, do you wish to save no, and then yes, not yes, and then no. That's important. So the first thing when you're looking at the dialog box, just say no and yes. If that's a dialog box you get, click yes, because it's going to save it out to the unit. If you get yes and then no, it's not going to save it out to the unit. So one is like a quick click, and the other one is a right click and hold.
Yeah.
So there again, obviously without seeing it, those are just some things we've ran into that common mistakes that we see.
And if you call for, of course, tech support, they're probably going to ask you the same thing.
Wow, look at that. Hold on, before we get to that one, look at this guy. He's just enjoying his Saturday.
¿Qué pasa, Christian?
I got to get his car video edited. It's on the list. All right, go ahead.
All right.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
The next question is,
Auto control needs a 5-channel ACM amplifier. You're going to get a 5-channel ACX amplifier.
not only a 5.
You're going to get a 6 also. That's the one we have sitting right over there. ACX 5-channel. You're going to get an ACX 5-channel amplifier. If you didn't know, with the ACM amplifier, if you buy the 4-channel and the 300.1, they do make a cover that turns it into a plate that goes over the top to turn it into a 5-channel. The look, it's a 5-channel. Yes, they know they need a 5-channel ACM amplifier, but we'll wait and see. They have other stuff that they're working on that you guys are going to be excited about.
Let me tell you about what I know.
No, it's not to say we did. Do you think Kicker Comp VR10s or the Comp R10s play about the same? I've heard they do. I just want dual input. I'm trying to upgrade my subs from Kicker Comp Cs to Comp VRS, which is apparently the best thing that can fit under the seat of my 2004 GMC Sierra extended cab, because that has a lot of extra room at her. Man, so here's the problem I have with Kicker. And this is
they have so many.
Too many damn subs.
Okay, so hang on.
Hold on.
The Kicker, the VR, is the shallow one.
I got a cheat sheet.
But what he needs is the new one, the Comp Art.
Okay.
The Comp Art.
So, all right. So the Comp VR, it's a VT.
No, that's the VT. The
Comp VR is this guy here.
It's the regular
It's the regular Comp R, which, no, those will fit in a 2004. So you have the Comp R. Yeah. No, the 2004 has got a lot of room.
Okay.
So the Comp R is the new one. The Comp VR is the older one.
Yeah.
I would do the Comp R because according to the cheat sheet, as far as hierarchy goes, the R is better than the VR. So Yeah, I'm guessing they're about the same. Really, what you're talking about is the VT is not as good as the RT.
But the new one, the Comp R's,
yeah,
just the Comp R's, you should get the 10s, and you'll be happy with it.
VR Comp C's to the Comp VR. I mean, let's be honest. You have a Comp C, anything above that. But keep in mind, here's something to keep in mind. You're going from one 10 to another 10. Its tonality is going to be different because of just the characteristics of the subwoofer. But it's not going to be like you all of a sudden have 4 10s. Okay? Right. Keep that in mind. A lot of people will switch from one sub to the next, and they're like, oh my God, it's going to be so great. And they're like, oh my God, it really sounds about the same. So
what will you do? You go with like a...
No, I'm saying do it because tonality-wise, it's going to be a better sound. Right. Okay? But, I mean, it's not like the Comp C's suck. The Comp C's sound great. Yeah. And both the VR and the R are going to sound great. Yes, it does increase your power handling, but if you're not changing the amplifier, or increasing the power handling, what's really going to be the difference? Yeah. Just the tonality of the speaker. Right. So, anyways, cheat sheet.
All right. Keep talking about Kicker.
Oh.
You recommend that Kicker 360.4 the other day. Should I get the Marine or the car version?
In the Marine version, they make a more powerful version of that amplifier. I would go for the Marine version and get the more powerful one for a couple bucks more.
Perfect. All right.
Marginally better. Yes, there again. We deal in marginally better as car stereo guys. Would a Rockford Fosgate P1005 be okay to run components in the front doors, 6x9s in the rear doors, and a Fosgate P310D? Yeah, we've done a lot of those. Yeah, that's a standard 5-channel configuration. Team Morel in the house.
That is right.
Hi, I have a 2020 F-150 Super Crew. Doesn't have premium sound, so no tweeters. Oh, really? No tweeters or amplifiers? Want to add tweeters and amplifier, different speakers. Problem is budget. What would you suggest? I can't believe it doesn't. Oh, it's a Super Crew. Well, it's a Super Crew.
So it's like a work truck.
Yeah, so budget is always going to be the problem. And naturally where you're going to want to add tweeters is in the A-pillar. I have no idea like what like that tweeter, like that A-pillar would look like without a tweeter in it, because they always have a tweeter there and it's round and it's kind of weird. So adding a tweeter, I mean, have you checked to see, first off, the first thing I do is check to see how much a set of factory A-pillars cost.
With the tweeter?
No, just with the tweeter without. I'd check to see how much a set of factory A-pillars cost.
Just to make some holes?
Just to figure out, well, hey, are they reasonable? If they're like $150, $75 a piece, it might be worth it just to buy them. Keep in mind, like the it's an F-150. So, I mean, you might get lucky on that one.
Yeah.
Now, if you want dedicated A-pillars made, MTI Acoustics does make add-ons as well as sail panels for that vehicle, so they have everything you need for the F-150.
Yeah, but when you're talking about budget,
I don't know what his budget is. I mean, if we're talking a shiny penny, then none of this conversation makes any sense. In which case, you're just going to get what you get and be thankful for it. So I'm just giving him, like, I don't know what his budget is. Everyone has a budget, if he's like, I'm on a budget of $10,000. That's one thing. If I'm on a budget of $1,500,
that's what I'm talking about.
We're talking like, well, you just get some nice speakers, a 5-channel amp, and some subs, and call it a day.
I was thinking more like a $10.
Yeah,
fix,
So,
all right.
And there again, you might just be like, it's a Super Crew. I'm just gonna cut holes. I don't know.
I mean, it probably is like I just want
get some like Rockford T2s and just that have the angle mounts that can screw into the sides and maybe do those. I don't know. That's a thought. Or like the KS tweeter has a little fisheye mount that could mount to the side of that. That's a kicker. So
yeah, for sure. All right. Is there a way to boost the volume on my AVH X 490 VS Pioneer deck?
Funny you should ask. Actually, yes.
It is funny?
Yeah, there is. And that's brought to you by our next sponsor, which is Audio Control.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I want to show you something. Because, all right, you're not going to like this. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like it.
No, really?
No, he's not going to like it because this will do the job. and it'll do the job spectacularly well. And this is actually what this is made for, but I know you're not going to like it. No, you know, but all right. So this, remove the comment for me.
Yeah.
This is called the Matrix Plus. And what this is designed to do, this is a 6-channel line driver with the special sauce brought to you by Audio Control. And this is designed to do exactly what you're asking it to do, to take the not so great RCA output of your Pioneer radio, you feed it through this, and that's going to give you a super clean, super hot, well, as clean as the Pioneer radio can put out, plus whatever Audio Control has done to this, which is, like Matthew likes to call it, the secret sauce, and then give you up to 10 volts of output to go off to your amplifiers. This was designed specifically to answer the question that you just posed us with. So if you're interested and that's within your, pick it up, the Matrix Plus. Now, I will say you might be able to find an older Matrix Plus for a discount that it's just bigger, you know. But either way, the Matrix Plus is what you're looking to get.
All right.
Good questions tonight. What's a good sound dampening material? There are tons of them.
Yeah.
That is like asking, like, well, no, it's not, because I know what my favorite toilet paper is. But there is a ton of sound. I mean, honestly, read the reviews. When you're looking at them, don't buy the cheapest crap you can find, because chances are good it's going to just leak out of your door. But read the reviews. Yeah. Because that's the best I can give you. You know, we use a variety of different sound treatments. We use Stinger Roadkill, a lot of that.
Yep.
We use the Ground Zero door kit.
Yep.
Ton of those. Dynamat, big fan of that. Sound Shield is another one. Resonex. Is like, you know, by Nick is just like, he's killing it right now. Yeah. So there's quite a few to choose from, and at various price points. I can tell you that when you buy cheap crap, though, it's cheap crap.
Yeah.
You know, it's thin, it doesn't work as good, and usually the guys writing the reviews for that, just check for leakage. That's really what you want. Oh, it leaked crap down my door. Most of the guys that buy the cheap, oh, this stuff works great, and they're just compensating for the fact that they didn't buy good stuff.
Yeah.
You just don't want leakage.
So check those companies.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, what are your thoughts on Sony Mobile ES component speakers? Is it better than Alpine Type R components? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. I honestly, I don't know. Hold on.
What's better?
Yeah, we've done a lot with Type Rs, and they just changed the Type Rs.
We done. Yeah. But we have done nothing yet with the Sony EX. But what Dean is doing right now is bringing you something so you can see. Just don't break the box.
I don't want to break the box. Still got to do an unboxing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the crossovers for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 2-in, 2-out crossover.
Yep.
But the reality is it's just a cap and a coil, which means this is just a tweeter crossover for the most part with a resistor, because it's got a 6 or 12 dB switch on here. Now, the R-Type also has something very similar to this. It is smaller, but this does look nice if you're trying to mount it somewhere, and it has pass-through, so you can do bi-amp on it and make it look all kinds of sexy there. So prettier crossover, if that's something you're interested. Now, when you look at the tweeter, the physical tweeters look, this is a dome tweeter. Alpine, the newest version, which isn't shipping yet, is different. So we're not talking about those yet. We're just talking about the current one. They went away from the dome tweeter, and they now have a flat tweeter. So it's a hard dome tweeter, as opposed to this, which is definitely, it's a bigger, physically bigger tweeter. This is more like the size of an X-type tweeter, physically, size-wise. And this is a dome. It's got this cool gold background. Now, I was told that even though this is glued into this mount, if you pick the glue out, you can remove the tweeter without damaging it, according to Jared. So if you screw up your tweeter, it's a la Jared, not a la Dean.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said you can remove the goo here, and then the tweeter will come out, and you can still do it. No wiring attached, so it's just slide-on terminals, and it's clearly marked positive and negative, which is cool. and there is a screw down in the back. Alpine also has a screw down on the back. All right, let's move on to the mid bass. Now, I think this is where you're going to see the biggest difference between the current R-Type and this. And now, I'm sorry, the soon-to-be released R-Type, they've gone away from neo-magnets. The current R-Type that you can still get has a neo-magnet, where this uses a standard magnet. It's kind of big. So like the current R-Type is going to be smaller. So if you need something that tapers in a lot quicker, but the newer R-Type that's going to come out probably by the end of the year will have a magnet structure just like this. Both the expensive R-Types that are coming out are going to be a composite frame. They're also going to have a stamped steel frame. This is a composite frame. The current R-Types have a composite frame. This is honestly pretty shallow, and so is the R-Type. I like the R-Type also has an autoformer in the center, just like this. So this has a metal autoformer, metal-ish. I think it is metal autoformer. The Alpine has an autoformer too. Alpine has a patented surround on theirs, that the hammer surround. Sony uses, I don't know if they've named this or not. Cone material looks very similar. I'm guessing power handling probably has to be close. So there you go. Those are the differences.
Very cool.
If you say so.
All right. Ready?
All right. Yeah. Oh, and they do come with really big mounts. Those are like big mounts.
All right. So we got that one.
Okay. Sorry. I mean, we had these. I had to,
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. Yeah. All right. So the next question is, what subwoofer do you recommend for a Fox box going in a 2014 Ford F-150?
So believe it or not, one of the woofers we use a lot in the Fox boxes are the Alpine R-Types. We use a ton of Alpine R-Types. One of the main reasons we use those is one, the basket diameter is kind of small. Now, the newer versions of the Fox acoustic boxes that he just told me about the other day, when you look at them, they have little corner squares put into them because all the new boxes, if you own a jigsaw, can be cut for the Kicker L7Ts. Oh yeah, baby! So now you can put L7Ts into your Fox box. So we haven't had a chance to do that yet. We just found out that's what those marks were for. So he's pre-scoring the boxes for you, which is really cool. But we do put a lot of, like I said, Alpine R-Types, as well as a lot of Rockford P3s. And we do both of those woofers because both of them have a full mesh grill, and the woofers fire towards the floor. And most people driving F-150s have kids, and they drop crap on the floor, and it can damage the cone. So that's why we go with those.
All right.
And they do sound really good too, which is nice.
We'll ask you, who do you suggest for installations in Vegas area?
You know who know the answer to that question?
Mike
Rios.
Mike Rios.
Paragon. You can find him on Instagram under Paragon. What is it? Paragon.
Distributor.
I don't know.
Sometimes Mike appears in here, but
hold on.
Yeah, Mike will know definitely because that's his area.
Yeah, he is that the Sony stuff?
That's the Sony stuff.
Right, I'll put it in the box. Okay. I got nothing else going on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me search for him for you real quick. Paragon, Paragon, sales and marketing.
There you go.
So it's, or you could just search Mike Rios.
Mike Rios.
Mike. Did I say Mark?
You say Mark.
Why did I say
It's
Mike?
Mike Rios.
Mike. Anyways, he's in Vegas. He's the guy to talk to if you want to find someone good in your town.
That's right.
Just text him. He's the one that had the Stinger. So if you've seen the Stinger Gladen video, and if you haven't seen that, go watch that first. Real super nice guy. Send him a DM. Tell him we told you to contact him so he doesn't think you're totally strange.
Hey, man.
But
this guy's
super
told
nice
me.
Dude.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Jim, do you recommend using a bandpass crossover when using a seal 8-inch subwoofer?
Yeah. Everything needs a bandpass crossover. Everything needs a bandpass crossover, Jim. I know what you're saying. Wait, what? So a subsonic filter is the subsonic filter on one end of your subwoofer and a low pass filter, low pass filter on the other end is basically a bandpass. We just call them subsonic. Oh, did you add a subsonic filter? Yeah, because your 8 is only going to handle playing so low. And really, the bandpass on the subwoofer or the subsonic filter, ultrasonic filter, call it whatever you want. There's many reasons to use one. One of the main reasons, especially for something like an 8, is the subwoofer is only capable of playing so low. And there's no reason to try to get it to make sound that it can't or just doesn't do very well. And you burn up a lot of heat in the voice coil with that one. You're just asking it to do something it can't. So yes, play with it a little bit, search it. I'm sure there's a bunch of math that someone has put together and you can figure out exactly what you need. But usually somewhere between 25, 30 hertz is a good place.
All right. If my head unit crossover for the subwoofer is set at 80 hertz and the amplifier is also set at 80 hertz, it is 80 hertz. Doesn't combine like a slub dB?
No, because it's not math like that. It's not changing the angle. So I mean, that's an interesting thought, but no, it's not going to be like, it doesn't stack like that because you're
All right. So now, what would you use? Use the radio or the amplifier?
I would probably use the radio because the radio is more precise. It's like the radio is going to be 80 hertz. Because it's digital, it's 80 hertz. The amplifier, if you put it on the number 80, it could be 75, it could be 62, it could be 100. Who the hell knows? It's a silk screen. It's just close. So, I would use the radio.
All right. There you go.
That's just me.
Hello, fellas. Quick question. Who can the average consumer use gig wire schematics and trim panel diagrams for every year, every model?
There isn't such a thing. Other than being part of like some group or forum or anything like that, it doesn't matter whether you're a consumer or a guy that owns a garage. You got to pay for that stuff. So
I mean, these guys pay for it.
It's not
stuff,
free.
Yeah?
It's intellectual property, and they charge us. So Mitchell's, all data, you got to pay monthly. It's just what it is. I mean, if we need that stuff, we got to pay too. So
I mean, yeah, that's for sure. All right.
Hello, professors. What's up?
Hey.
I have an 05 CTS. I want to retain the upper controls which read the outside temps, etc. I'm installing an aftermarket radio. What do I need? Dude, I think the only people that make anything for an 05 CTS is Metra, if they even make anything for it, and I'm pretty sure they're not retaining nothing. Yeah, so I got nothing for that. It's CTS, man. Ooh, not fun. Sorry. What city and state are you guys in? We're in Clearwater, Florida.
Clearwater, Florida. Where all the hurricanes are coming.
Apparently, this is where the hurricanes are coming, which could totally screw up our week. I have an Hummer H2. I'd like a complete system installed. That is wonderful. You should get a complete system installed. Hummer 2s are a lot of fun. Is it the latest body style or is it the previous? Because I made the newer one for like 1 year and then they got away from it. But no, there's if you're looking to get a quote, you can reach out to Paul the salesman at 5 spell it all out 5starcarstereo@gmail.com and he can help you out.
All right.
Morel Pico tweeters have a reputation of being superior. SQ. What makes this tweeter be so sought after? It's like this big. It's $3,000. It's super realistic sounding.
Beautiful.
It's
the guy that bring like 3 pairs.
Yeah, he brought 3 pairs. Bought $9,000 in tweeters to have us put into his Civic. He only wanted 4 of them. The other 2 were backup. Here's the thing. Look at it like this. Okay, so we'll let me get it. This thing sliding here is driving me crazy. So let's go back to these guys for a minute. These guys, Focal. All right. When you're designing a high-end speaker, all right, such as Morel, a Focal, a Gladen, Hertz, PHS, or all these really expensive speakers.
Mm-hmm.
When you have an unlimited budget to make the best thing possible, you make the best thing possible. And then they cost that because you just don't care. So you take life as this is what we want it to sound like, and then you build that. And then it just doesn't matter.
Sparta. No, right.
So it's just one of those tweeters. Like there's a lot of them, like Audis Thesis tweeters, the Brax tweeter that we put in. With the Porsche video that we just did, those Brax tweeters in the dash, those cost almost I think they're the same price as the Piccolo. And it's just the best of the best, everything, because it doesn't matter. You're going to pay it.
Like the Brilliant tweeters and all. I mean,
it's just what it is. You know?
Hey, Mr. Angel.
Hey.
Yes, I want to talk to you.
He just orders an IRTA 2.
Oh.
Yep, he ordered an IRTA 2. Got the order yesterday, so Sue's going to get that out to him.
I want to send you a message about stuff, man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, whatever. There's your box coming your way. What do you recommend power-wise for sitting in your car playing music for hours? Something very efficient. So kicker key maybe a key or a Audison Prima, Helix Match.
Helix.
I mean, something like that is going to be, you just want to look at something that has very little power consumption. And I mean, and it's a soup to nuts kind of thing. I hate that phrase, but I love that phrase. Meaning, if you go, so let's take like an Audison Prima. All right. The cool thing, and this is why I say it, and there again, Match is the same way from Helix. Helix has probably too much power consumption compared to like a Audison Prima. But you look at a Prima, all right, which is like 30 to 50 watts by 8. All right. Then you go, oh my God, whatever. Match makes this little tiny 5-channel. It's like 50 by 4, 120 by 1. It's like this big. They don't consume a lot of power. But what makes them unique is, or at least Audison unique, is that the whole Prima system. So when you buy the amp, you buy the speakers, and it all plays nice together. It's kind of like I hate to use the term Bose because I hate the way Bose sound, but the idea where it's like everything matches and then it sounds good. If you go Prima, if everything matches, it sounds good. So you can get into a really nice, affordable, not necessarily affordable. You get a really nice system that plays really well.
All right, so hang on.
Is it that time?
Hang on. Before you go,
I want to order one of those IRTAs myself. They look like they get the job done at a fraction of the cost. And that is correct. And for those of you who keep going, what are they talking about? Well, Fernando's going to do this. All right, let me go. I'm going to shut that. All right, so I was going to say you turned on the video. If you head over to dnftooldrawer.com, like the video said, and you scroll down here to the bottom, there are a ton of little videos that we've made explaining all the fun things that you can do with the IRTA 2. So if that's something you're interested in doing, definitely head over there, check them out, so that when you get the tool, you're all set and ready to go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you good?
Yes.
It works on iPhone, right? Yes, it works on any iDevice that has a Lightning connector.
Just a Lightning. It's an iDevice. Yes.
It's an iDevice. That's why it's called an IRTA. I know. Sorry, Android guys. I know. Hate me all you want. Hey, I have an 03 Denali. No kidding. With the factory Bose. I bought a Metra GMOS 4 for the factory amp and chime retention. Shop can only get rear speakers to work, and they sound like crap. Any advice? Wow, that's a weird one.
Well, that's like what we did.
Well, no, this is newer. 03 is newer.
Which one was this one?
That was like a 2000.
Oh,
03 is going to be the first one that has the data bus interface. Now, here's where this gets weird, because on that particular vehicle, there is no fader output from the radio, meaning there's only rear outputs from the radio, okay, or front outputs. It's not a, even though the radio okay, so how that interface works is it takes 2-channel left and right, goes into the GM interface, and then there's only 2-channel left and right going into the amplifier. Now you wire up all 4 speakers, and the reason why you do that is because those outputs control the GMOS4's data connection to the amplifier so that you get fader. So it's a fake fader. It uses the voltage between front and rear differential to fade the factory amplifier. So the fact that they're only getting rear audio doesn't make any sense, because like the module would have to think there's no sound coming from the front channel and have it faded all the way to the rear. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you may have a bad interface, in that it just thinks there's rear audio, and or it's an 04 and you have speakers that don't work in the front of the car, or the Bose amplifier is in fact bad.
So
I gotta be honest.
You can like they hook it up backwards.
It doesn't matter, because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't know front from rear. It doesn't care. Here's the easiest solution on this. First off, it's a Bose system. I get it. It's an 03. It's like it's 20-year-old car. Get some new speakers. Get a subwoofer. You might not want to spend that, but you got to do it on this car, because those speakers suck.
Bypass the amp.
Bypass the amp and call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be what I would do. I wouldn't even interface with that. I'd be like, hey, you're buying new speakers. We did earlier today. We had a Yukon in, but it was the version right before yours. So it was right before the data bus, but there again, all Bose crap. All Bose stuff came out, bypassed the amplifier, added a real sub. And you don't have to do anything real spectacular either. That's the cool part. Like Kicker CS speakers dominate. You know, you don't need to go out and buy like super high-end stuff, because the stuff in that thing sucked.
Yeah.
So anything you do is going to be an improvement for sure.
All right.
But hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let me go to this one. We had the exact issue with the Bose amp was bad. We ended up just bypassing the amp for 100%. Yeah, I mean, a bad Bose amp from the center console where all the coffee is?
Never happened.
No way, that's unheard of.
Never happened.
What do you guys think about PRV DSPs? Have you used it yet? No, we have not used it yet. I don't know what to think about them. I think I'd like to play with one, because I think it's cool, but here's the problem. I have nothing against PRV. I think they're kind of cool. They make some neat stuff. Where my problem is on a personal level, when we're there at Knowledge Fest and they're all just sitting in their booth and they ignore us every time we walk in, that's kind of what irritates me more than anything, because I would love to talk to these guys. I know I'm not a loudspeaker guy, but a DSP is a DSP. You know what I mean? So that's really where it comes down to me. Ooh, new product alert. We won't be here. Give me the phone. Give me the phone connection.
Of course.
This. All right. Very rarely do I get like, oh my God, that's freaking cool. But last night I was going through my mail, and I got this. I'm on a lot of the mailer lists. Go ahead and shut off the current. I'm on a lot of the mail lists. I want to pull this guy up here, and I'm going to do this. So I get emails constantly. This is DS18. Okay. DS18 makes this new piece right here. This one right here. Okay. They make this one, which is the VT1, but they make this one, which is the standalone sequencer. This guy. Okay. Now, if we're lucky, it'll open. All right. So it is the VSQ1 voltmeter sequencer with remote outputs. It's $40. It will do 4 outputs, I believe, or 5 outputs. It has remote turn on output. Okay. So you can control up to like 4 amps. What makes this thing so cool is, for one, it's a voltmeter and it looks super sexy, but 2, the remote turn on outputs are all delayable. That's why it's called a sequencer. And it literally says in here, designed to eliminate turn on pops. It's $40. How cool is that? Now, I would like to order one of these, of course, but the chances of me doing it are probably thin because I'll forget about it. But that's what I'm telling you guys, because this thing is neat. I think it's cool. I thought it was cool. I don't know how well it works. It might be the biggest piece of crap. I don't know, but it also might be the coolest thing ever. I'm hoping for the coolest thing ever. So if one of you guys actually gets one of these, the VSQ 1 voltmeter sequencer with remote outputs, dude, let me know how it works.
Oh. All right.
Okay. But yeah, I know I really want one. Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
Dude, I know. I just got to buy one.
Simple things that make these happy.
Dude, simple
That's
shit.
it.
Well,
that's
I mean, how many guys go, I have turn on pop?
Yeah.
$40 fixed. And you get a cool light show that you can put in the back of the car. And so you'll know when you're back. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too is like, I think through the, I don't know. Go check it out, guys. DS18. What the hell? What are your thoughts?
And they're not paying us, so.
No, they're not.
Yeah, man.
Read that to me.
All right. I'm going to read it to you. What are your thoughts on manufacturers who create different line of amplifiers that are really close power-wise? For example, CX800 and the CX1200 are
roughly 200
watts of power on the dyno.
Yeah. I think this might have been the guy that looked at this and was like, dude, the value is in the 800, not the 1200. Yeah, because the 800 puts out like almost close to 1,000 watts, whereas the 1200 puts out much closer to 1,200 watts, so it doesn't make like 1,400 watts. So yeah, here's the thing. I don't want 50 amplifiers from a manufacturer, all right? The reality is you need like a 500 watt amp, a 1,000 watt amp, and a 1,500 watt amp. That's it. I mean, even that, the 1,500 watt, I really don't care about that one. But it makes sense. Kicker and everyone else for that matter, you know, it's like you have the 800, you have the 1200, you have the 1800, you have the 2400. And they sell all of them. So there's no reason they're ever going to stop doing it. But in my world, it's like, slow it down, guys. I don't need this much option. You know, Audio Control makes an 800 and they make a 1500. Which is almost double the power. So, and we sell both of those. And that's a great little combination because it's like, I mean, honestly, I feel like we need a 500. But, you know, only time will tell if we get that bad boy. Oh, wait, we're getting a 601. Sorry, ACX 600. But no, I understand your pain. And try being a retailer, because as a retailer, it's like you got to stock both, because that one guy's going to come in and he's not going to see the dyno. He's going to assume there's 400 watts difference there, and he's going to be like, I got to have the 1200. And it's like, dude, it's like almost the same power. No, I got to have the 1200. All right, here's the 1200. You know, make you happy. So not everyone is woke. When the cameras are off, Dean secretly dances to Don't Mess With My Toot. Who remembers this? Fernando, you're too young. I mean, when the camera's off, Dean just dances, but he'll also dance when the camera's on. We've all seen that, I feel. Yes. Oh, we just saw it in the video. Yeah. We just saw it in The Boring Life of Dean and Fernando.
Yeah.
I was dancing on the escalator.
Yes, you did, yeah.
And everyone was clapping. Everyone heard the clapping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm glad I was so happy that you got that chick singing. Yeah.
Oh, that was the
Dude,
best.
That's like were we on the plane together the last time the chick was singing? That might have been when we were on our way to Maui.
This is the first time somebody sings in the plane.
I think it was on the flight to
Maui. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back.
Then that sucks to be you. You should figure this out.
And go back and watch the
Boring Life of Dean and Fernando. Is the Kicker Quad a good deal, or would it be better or more cost effective to just build something with different subs to achieve? No. All right, hands down. Quad box, best value. 150 dBs, you don't even have to try, man. Done deal. 2400 watt amp on it, rock on. 2500 watt amp. No. And as far as building your own, holy crap, that box to build would be a fortune. If you haven't seen the video we did on that where we went and put the camera inside of it, dude, that thing is built like a shit brick house. I mean, it is the most, that's probably a bad analogy. Sorry. Yes, that thing is built like a brick house, man. It is like there's bracing upon bracing. It is made out of plywood, you know, the expensive crap you guys love so much. No, it is, yeah. Butch plywood.
What are they called?
Birch.
Birch.
No, it is definitely. And there again, not a fanboy. I've had one. It's yes. Honestly,
it's a beach plywood. That's what it is.
It's a beach plywood. No, it's totally cool. Totally worth the money for sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Where were you, dude? I mean, we were totally like the
we were totally showing you speakers.
We were totally talking about these. What the hell? We were totally talking about these.
Yes.
I'm just gonna call him and have him pick us up from the airport on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
But I didn't want to bother him with it because at this point we won't be going because we're supposed to be getting a hurricane. Dude, he posts these candy ass pictures of like, oh, it's looking kind of murky over the top of my house. I'm like, that's every day at 2:00 in Florida. Yeah, you guys act like you ain't never seen rain before. Well, they probably haven't in Arizona, but hey guys, I have a 2019 Volkswagen with steering wheel controls. Oh,
when changing the RCD 330 stock head unit to the aftermarket one, what kind of interface? Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Maybe. Doesn't iData make Volkswagen now?
iData.
I was gonna say
iData.
makes
Go check
Volkswagen.
iData.
Yeah,
iDataMaestro.com.
I think it's iData link. Just type in Maestro RR.
Yeah.
Yellow boxes. That'll get you there.
Over there in the top.
It's the desert. I know. It's a dry heat. Yeah. Rain. What is that? Rain only in northern Arizona. I'll take your word for it, man. I mean, it's moist here all the time. Or is that me just thinking of Jared? Anyways.
All right. Another one. Can I still use Maestro RR for steering wheel controls for non-Maestro comparable radio? JVC 560 BT for a 2019 Tacoma. Will the Crocs be a better option?
No. A lot of people don't realize this, and we've made videos on it. And the RR is a smart harness. At the end of the day, it is a smart harness, meaning it can be used in any application with any radio. It doesn't care. So to answer your question, yes, you can still use a Maestro RR. There is a generic programming for it that just turns it into what it needs to be when you use a. So for example, you're still going to tell it you're putting in a 2019 Tacoma, but when you choose the radio, it'll say, oh, that's not the data side compatible. So then it'll allow you to just program your steering wheel controls, which is really cool because you tell it what you want it to do. So you can arrange them any way you want on your computer screen as opposed to like pushing buttons or flicking dip switches, which sucks, or just praying, which is the other way. It's like, oh, it works. Yay, magic. Oh, crap, I want to change a button. No, you can't. So, yeah, anytime I can use an RR harness, I do, because it's definitely by far the easiest harness to use out there. And now, with the new T-harness adapters, so like if you're going to put in a JVC, one of the Kentwood 1 or 2 harness might work. You don't even have to solder anything together. You just like clip it in and you're done. So definitely check out that as well. But yes, any RR can still do any radio that is not. We use it on the Alpine ILX W650 all the time. And I think that's actually the video we filmed. So yeah, go for it.
All right.
Of course, you can also get just the SW1, which is the steering wheel control interface. So they make just the steering wheel control interface for it. But if you're trying to do like backup camera, I totally get why you go with the RR because it's all in the box. So, what DSP brand? What DSP do you recommend for entry level? Ooh, that's a good question.
Entry level.
I mean, okay. So my first answer is audio control. Okay. My first answer is audio control, just because the software is super easy to use. Okay. However, caveat, there are other DSPs that all use very similar software. So, for example, like Alpine uses the same software as like
the Ground Zero.
There's like a dozen of them up there.
Audio Dynamics.
Memphis. So a lot of these guys all use this. Museway.
Yes.
and there's Nakamichi.
The Sound Digital one right now.
Yeah.
It's almost the same. Yeah.
So a lot of them use, like, if you see one that says like phone app, that usually means it's the same Chinese software. And okay, we call it Chinese software. That's not a derogatory term in the sense that it's just how we call it, the DSP Chinese software. It's great software. Yeah. It really is. It's just, I don't know what else to call it. Universal software that everybody uses. That is not a beginner's DSP. The Tweak is not a beginner's DSP, not by any stretch of the imagination. It is a great DSP. I love it. The Infinity DSP, there again, they also use a version of that Chinese software, and we have a full how-to on both the JL Tweak, which I have sitting right there, and the Infinity software, which I have sitting right there. So there again, a lot of those guys use very similar software. The reason why I said audio control first is because it is very GUI driven. It's very like simple and big, like lots of real estate taken up to do like simple stuff. So like the crossover, it's not a little afterthought buried in the corner somewhere. There's a big screen in the middle of the page that says crossover right here, slide dial. Whereas a lot of like the Chinese software that we're talking about, it's like the crossover is this little tiny thing in the corner that you have to find. So, but here's the best part. Here's the best part. Do not take my word for it. No, please do not. What you should do is download the software, because everyone that we just mentioned is downloadable software for you to play with. Download that person's software for free and play with it. Now, if you have to use a Windows machine, great. Everyone will play with that. But if you're like myself and use a Mac, well, then that JL comes back onto the table, because audio control and JL are two of the DSPs that can be used on a Mac. And I love the JL and I love the audio control. I love two things.
Oh my gosh.
How does that happen?
That is crazy.
You have to pick one, because if not, you will suck.
Yeah, you cannot pick two.
I love this. I'm in Arizona and it rained hard yesterday.
Apparently not in Jared's house.
It rained hard, though. It rained so hard. It rained so hard, I had to go wash my car today. Which 3-inch mid-range? Focal KRX2 or the Milli Legend 700-3? I have heard more K2 mid-range than I have the Milli Legend. So on this one, I'm going to have to be biased towards the Focal, just because I've done more with that speaker. That is not to take anything away from the Milli Legends. We just, when it comes to the Milli Legends, typically we're just doing a component, 6 and tweet with that speaker, whereas with the KRX3s, we do more KRX3s. So they're both great. They're both great, but we've done more with the, so that really doesn't answer your question. So never mind. Are you guys ever going to use my music? Yes.
We're going to.
We are.
It's just, hey man,
it sucks. I'm sorry. I just, I know. It's like the 10,000 other things that I really want to do, but I just keep forgetting. What is the best DSP for now? We've used that.
Because he never used that one.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I think we answered that question.
Yeah.
I think you're busy. I am busy, but it's not just that. There's a lot to it. I mean, using busy is just an excuse for a lot of things, but it's just a matter of opportunity and being able to take advantage of it when I need to. And for some reason, I just haven't been able to do it. I apologize. Yeah. How do I bypass the Bose amp and the 03 Denali? I have aftermarket speakers and a radio and 4 channels. I don't know if Metro makes a bypass for that one. I know they make one for the one that we did in the older one, but I don't think they do for that. So what you have to do is get to the amplifier that's in the center console. Sucks. And then you're going to,
Is that Justin?
No, you know what? You might not even have to do that. You could just, like if you pull the cup holder out, there's a giant plug right inside there. That's where all the speaker wires are. So you're going to have to hardwire from the radio down to those speakers. But I don't think anyone makes just a plug into that. But I would check Metro to see if they do, because those would be the only ones off the top of my head that would. Set it on fire. Burn it to the ground.
No, don't
turn off cap locks, man. DJ, turn off cap locks. It's like you're yelling at us. You make me feel bad. Yeah, just
I understand.
You don't have to yell, man. I can hear. Question: 2014 to 18, GMC Sierra Crew non-Bose 8-inch screens. I don't know what IKR is. LOL. Can you suggest a cheaper option to run 2 amps on the factory other than the DSR1 along with the pack module, or I bite the bullet? First off, you're going to need the pack module. Hands down. Bite the bullet, buy the pack module. Done deal. If anything, the sanity of your chime module will thank you.
And the DSR1 is the DSP.
DSR1 is just the DSP.
Optional if you actually need it.
That's up to you. If you want to tune the system, great. If you want to buy amplifiers that have DSPs built into them, that might be a way to save money there. You know, if you already got the amplifiers, totally understand. However, there are less expensive amplifiers that have DSPs built into them, because remember, once you do the pack module, you can do anything you want. Ground Zero has a 4-channel affordable DSP amplifier. Museway has a bunch of affordable DSP amplifiers. Yeah, so I mean that, but you're going to bite the bullet. I mean, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to do it right? Isn't that what we're all doing? Yeah. I mean, remember, if you're going to have the car for a certain amount of time, you want to enjoy it while you have it. And then you're just going to hate yourself because, you know, when you think about like $200, $200 is a lot of money. No doubt.
It is 100%.
But $200 over the course of a year is not a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money. No, it's not. It's like $15 a month. Slow it down.
$15 a month.
Hey, Dean, what's your go-to song that you like to listen to when you're done tuning and you just want to get down some? Same question for Fernando. You know, we have obviously our tune songs.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the times, like if we have time, we kind of do like the history of rock and roll, or we'll just kind of play each other's like random playlists that we have.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have any one particular song. Like we've said before, like the first song I listen to is No Doubt, Hella Cool, or whatever the hell it's called. And you play the new song you're playing is
Rise.
Where some chicks sing
from Dominic.
Da, 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 da.
I like it.
But once we're done, and
Yes.
it's like, then it's like, hey, you know, it's like you scroll through the playlist and you play the random songs that like maybe we heard in a podcast, or maybe he saw somebody else play and they were like this. And it's just fun at that point. So at that point, it's kind of our reward for doing a good job.
Well, sometimes I like to play some of the Spanish music that I normally listen to.
And that's when I get out of the car and
the whole thing.
No, we'll sit in there and we'll just listen to random stuff.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's like, yes, like I have a playlist that I use that has all my favorite songs in there that I just keep adding to. But I've heard all those songs.
You know, for me,
times.
it's just hard when we're done with a system that we don't have enough time to like just keep listening to it. So I'm go through like 10 different songs.
Yeah.
And I just go play the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like next. Next.
So can you publish your list of test tracks? We're going to do that. That's what I want.
25. You just wait.
But what I want to. I want 5 songs from each of us, and he's already telling me he can't come up with 5 songs, so he's already the one that's making this difficult. But no, I just want 5 songs of each.
All right, so 5 songs. Done.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys. I know what you're thinking. What haven't we talked about on the show tonight? And I would say nothing. We pretty much covered it all. But for those of you that are interested, DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can go and find all the cool tools that we use to do our installs. That's right, DNF Tool Drawer. So obviously the IRTA2 is available from there, and we ship that right to you from us. However, all these other things are links to cool tools on Amazon. We have plastics. We have the cameras we use. We have air tools, meters, and probes. If you're looking for the stuff that the professionals use, definitely check out DNF Tool Drawer. And if you want to get swag, DNF Swag is a place you can go to pick up a cool t-shirt. There's a bunch of them on there. I got to come up with some new stuff for this not Halloween, but yeah, Christmas. Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
It's Saturday night. Monday is coming up. I'd say winter is coming, but it is. It's always coming.
Winter
I mean,
is
technically,
coming.
even the day after winter, it's still coming around. Monday is coming.
Yeah,
we'll have
it twice.
We'll have special guests on Monday. It's gonna be a square speaker that's small. It's about this big. It has a K in the center of it, and it is not a subwoofer. We'll have that here on Monday to play with, along with some people here to talk about it. But let's be honest, you guys are more excited about the speaker than the people that are coming to talk about it. So stay tuned to Monday. We'll have some fun there. And then that's going to be the last show for the week other than Instagram, unless the hurricane comes, ruins our trip, and we end up having to work the whole weekend, in which case I'm not going to be happy, so I probably won't come on the internet to talk to anyone because I'll just be pissed.
Yes.
So we're hoping, thoughts and prayers for Dean's flight and Fernando's flight. Don't waste your time praying for us. Please, God, don't do that. We're just going to hope that the hurricane that's coming to destroy the world
why not?
bypasses us, and we can still get on our plane on Friday to go film over at Mobile Solutions.
Orca
training, because that'll be a lot of fun. And plus, let's be honest, we know you guys can't go, but we're going to go for you and bring you along.
So you guys can see everything.
Yes.
Not
it's
everything,
gonna be fun.
but yes.
Everything that Brian will let us show you.
But all right, guys.
Plus, we want to find out about the new Mobile Solutions animal.
Yes.
I want to get one of those to bring home.
And it's my size. It's mini.
It is mini. It's mini. It's Fernando sized. He could have called it the Fernando animal.
Yeah.
Fernanimal. Hey, listen, tonight, if you're going to have fun, make sure you get home so you can have fun again Sunday night. Because Sunday night at 9 o'clock is Game of Thrones. And if you want to feel miserable for the rest of the week, go ahead and watch it.
Are you guys going to CES? No, we're not going to CES, but we're going to SEMA.
We're going to SEMA. Who wants to go to CES?
But that's what he said.
No, we're going to SEMA.
SEMA.
We're going to SEMA. Just SEMA. Nothing for us at CES, unfortunately. All right, guys, listen. You go forth. Have fun. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Now we're going to do the awkward where we hit the